Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of our video interview series. If the past few weeks have shown us anything, it's that the only constant is change, which is why when it comes to your business's backup power and UPS, the ability to adapt and remain agile has gone from just a nice to have to a necessity. So a brilliant way of ensuring business agility and flexibility is to adopt a modular pay-as-you-grow approach to your UPS system. And although modular UPS isn't a new technology, this approach comes with an absolute raft of benefits that so many people just aren't privy to. So with that in mind, today we are joined by authority on the subject, Mr. Louis McGarry of Centiel, to find out what many of us are missing. So hi Louis, I hope you're well. Thank you for being with us today. I know you're a busy man. So I'll just like to launch into it. So as I've already mentioned, UPS isn't necessarily a new technology, but for the uninitiated, I'd just like to start off by asking, what is a modular UPS and how long has this technology been on the
Right, Claire, so that's a very good question. As you've said, the technology isn't necessarily new. We're in our third decade of innovation with regards to true modular UPSs. We, as our R&D team, were the first people to bring this type of product to the market when we talk about true modular UPSs. And as we are now, we are a global UPS manufacturer with 50 partners. So what do we talk about when it comes to true modular UPS? Well, we have a product that takes a legacy concept of paralleling multiple UPSs horizontally, and we take that concept and we turn it vertically and parallel individual UPSs inside a frame into a single footprint. Now, what does that mean? That means we take what's called a module, which replicates every single component. So that's rectifier, inverter, static switch, CPU, control logic, a complete replication of components so that we remove any common point of failure.
I mean, in your experience, what has modular UPS adoption been like over, say, the last 5 years? Has it grown, lessened, or has it remained pretty stagnant?
It's definitely taking over from the legacy style of system design. Yeah. We do see it more and more, but obviously we've been selling this equipment for more than 20 years. Obviously, being in our 4th generation of the technology now, we are bringing new things to the market. New USPs and ways of making the systems more available. I think that only tells a good story, and make no bones about it, there are other types of modular UPSs out there. So we know that type of part of the market is expanding.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys are obviously bringing out sort of more options to the market, but I mean, what do you think are the barriers to modular UPS? I mean, right now, still.
I think it's to do with getting the message out there, educating people that aren't maybe familiar with the concept or the architecture. There is a thing that is, we've always designed something like this, so we're going to carry on designing something like this. But once we bring that message into the market, the understanding of the full benefits of, the resilience, the flexibility, the maintenance side of things, there seems to be almost like a light bulb moment. It's like, why haven't we done this before? And look what it can bring to this solution and to this client.
I mean, I'm sure there's obviously still monolithic blocks will still have their place, but how does a modular UPS system differ from these traditional systems? I mean, what are the main benefits you can expect to see from this approach?
Yeah, standalone monolithic blocks do still have their place. There is always a cause for value engineering. I mean, hence why we have an entire product range of our own of standalone blocks to meet a certain criteria in the market. I think the main benefit here is availability and resilience. So, and of course, going into more detail, things such as pay-as-you-grow schemes, being able to be a bit more flexible with the system, and everything in it day one. So with a monolithic block, you've got all your components in one basket, effectively. In order to create resilience, you have to stand another one next to it. So that's where your footprint becomes bigger. Because of the legacy architecture of monolithic blocks, the mean time to repair is a lot longer, excuse me. So with modular, we can replace modules hot from the frame and within minutes, seconds of being on site. So the availability goes right up. Whereas traditionally, our engineers maybe go to site, repair the UPS at component level or board level, and this could be hours of downtime on site. So modular takes away any downtime. So we say zero downtime with modular, and mean time to repair is much, much faster. Plus, of course, the flexibility of the systems.
Mm-hmm. I mean, despite all the benefits, one size never fits all, does it? So what kind of industries does Centiel predominantly serve with this technology? I mean, how diverse is it?
Well, we are completely flexible with our product range, modular product range. With the same product line, we can adapt the system size to whatever we need it to be. And that also means that we can fulfill any power protection requirement within the industry, whether that's banking and finance, oil and gas, medical, a Formula One team, anyone that requires power protection, we can support.
Brilliant. I mean, with industries like medical, for example, I mean, it's no secret that infrastructure is aging. There's not been a great deal of investment there. So do you think this kind of technology should be crucial or maybe even mandatory in certain mission critical settings? So, for example, in a hospital where the risk of downtime just can't be taken.
Yeah, I think we have seen a definite improvement on the money spent on protecting people's lives as opposed to protecting data. It's almost starting to become a balance finally. Obviously, the banking and finance world has a lot more money to inject into their power protection and data. But it's nice to see that our equipment is finally being used for a lot of medical purposes, you know, when it comes to A&E or intensive care or other care units. It's really refreshing, and finally money is being injected into that, and we are being successful within that field.
Brilliant. I mean, you mentioned that one of the main benefits of modular UPS is the ability to move it around, to redeploy it wherever it needs to be. So out of all these benefits we can glean from modular UPS, what would you say has been the most prevalent among your customers? I mean, is there something people are looking for in particular at the minute?
I think it comes into its own when we're doing a right size replacement of legacy technology, so we can take out the monolithic blocks, provide them with higher rating, resilience, reduced footprint and right size system, so their replacement capital cost is less. But when we're going into the medical side of things as well, we can be agile in maybe designing one system for today that can adapt into something for tomorrow, or be reutilized in other areas around different sites, or even the same site at least. So, you know, the flexibility of the technology is sort of hitting the medical side as well as, you know, the other areas of the industry.
Is it just the hardware that Centiel is delivering? I mean, how do you guys support your customers pre and post sale?
Yeah, I think that's the absolute key question. So we don't just want to deliver a Swiss-made quality product to the market. It's very important that that product is maintained by fully trained factory engineers and delivering a service to our customers for the life cycle of that product. The relationship needs to be maintained for, you know, 10 to 15 years, and then onwards for the next product replacement, and giving them support on their preventive maintenance, technical assistance, call outs, and even client training. It's very important that we keep that relationship as tight as possible.
I mean, obviously you guys have such an agile product, it's going to be useless without an agile company behind it. And obviously if someone has invested heavily in a product like this, they want it to last as long as possible. And that is obviously the goal here. And I think that's brilliant. But on that note, unfortunately, it is time on our chat today. So hopefully you guys have learned something. I certainly did. But thank you very much for your time, Louis. And if you would like to find out more about Centiel or get in touch, you can find all the necessary details in the description box below. So once again, thank you for watching. And until next time, stay safe.